Let's be honest, we've all had off days. Pray you never have a day like this. So this was a wedding 2 years ago of my two friends. They hired a photo and video team, and for whatever reason, the video side of things just didn't pan out. The footage they got didn't match up with what we all witnessed that day, and obviously my friends are bummed out and considered the footage unsalvageable. Challenge accepted. So I suffer from hopeless optimism here. People who think the shoot is over and we got what we got lack one of the following three things: vision, resources, or time. And that's true for almost any format: weddings, films, or even YouTube episodes. How do we actually fix this? We have 75% of the footage in such a degraded state that including it in the video would actually take away from the focal point. So let's cut a significantly shorter video and just use the best shots and build from there. This is not looking great. Out of the 4 cameras, the only gimbal we have was an Osmo, but it had some sort of malfunction with the memory card, and that's what the pixelation is. We have no B-roll, we have no drone shots. Most of the other cameras are all shot on a wide lens, so they're about as cinematic as a congressional hearing, and the only shot of the bride and the groom at the altar favored the groom's side, so we have almost no beauty shot of the bride. We have to build a story from the ground up. So let's start small. Basic, relatable emotions. That's the easiest way to get an audience invested into your story. Here's a great shot. Michael is waiting around for first look. He's glancing around at his feet. He takes a big sigh. I think we can all relate to that. Now, to make these shots actually work, we have to slow down this footage. And of course, they didn't shoot any slow-mo. I'm gonna use Twixtor. I find the results are a little bit better, but obviously Premiere and Final Cut have their own proprietary form of optical flow. So if you have that, use that. Now we've extracted that moment. Let's move on and do this a dozen more times. We are so fucked here. Out of an hour and 35 minutes of raw footage, we have 6 minutes of usable footage that's not pixelated or overexposed. We have no story. So what other footage do I have? Okay, so I got one lifeline here. I brought my camera that day and I got a few shots of them just messing around in front of the classic car and on top of a building in downtown. It's not much, but at least it's gorgeous and maybe it'll help generate some ideas on story. Do have a drone shot from a short film 3 years ago. It has nothing to do with the wedding, but it's of downtown LA. See, what we're missing is a ton of B-roll and exposition. So that is what stock footage is for. We're not gonna use any sort of romantic shots because I think that would offend my friends, but what we can get away with are super tight cinematic B-roll shots. Michael is wearing a blue suit, so I think I'll start with that. So you can vastly improve the overall perceived quality of a film by loading the most cinematic shots first and then hooking the audience with story. As the story unfolds, they're less likely to notice a drop in quality. Okay, so this is a great shot right here. It's super cinematic, it's mysterious, we can't really tell it's not her. So let's find a few more shots like this. Next, let's download the watermark comps, plug them in our timeline, and then we'll buy the ones that make the final cut. So I'm using Dissolve for these shots, but I left a bunch of the other stock footage sites in the description. Dissolve did not pay me to say this. I am loyal to nobody. Check this out. The story doesn't have to be told linearly. So 3 years ago, I filmed Michael's proposal to Chelsea. Now, it's not great. I didn't have a gimbal, but I was rolling video when they thought I was taking photos. So what you have is some super private moments between the two. Just ripped my shirt. Okay, so we got something here. So in addition to building some emotion, we can use this as a time travel device so it can go back and forth from past and present. And now all of a sudden, using multiple narrative timeline, we have a 2-shot of the ceremony as well as a smiling shot of the bride. Now, if you don't have this kind of footage, what other footage do you have? Any photos or video from Facebook? We just don't have enough B-roll still. All right, so we're here back at the wedding venue, and I know it doesn't look like a venue right now. It looks like a college campus. All we need is just a couple of moments of awesome cinematic B-roll stuff that we can cut together with them. It's gonna give us that atmospheric tone that is completely void of the original video. It's amazing. There's 2 butterflies that are making love in the garden. There they go. So the altar looks a little bit different than when we remember it. There's a caution sign and someone sleeping on the benches, but maybe we can shoot around it. Let's go home, let's go plug this stuff into the edit and see where we're left. Okay, so by itself, it's just a bunch of footage of flowers and walkways, and it'll cut nicely with our wedding footage. But we can start building meaning and emotion through a mental phenomenon called the Kuleshov effect. Okay, so back in like 1910, Kuleshov, a Soviet filmmaker, famously published a montage of unrelated clips which could derive multiple meanings from the same clip of an unexpressionless man by changing the clip that followed. This was later more famously expanded upon by Alfred Hitchcock. And history lesson over. So let's jump in our timeline here. We have 4 clips. Okay, so the first clip is of Michael and Chelsea. This was shot on the day of the proposal. The second one, the videographer shot on the day of the wedding. It's a little bit blown out, but because it's artistic, I think we can get away with it. The third one is dissolved stock footage. It looks like it's a ring inside of a box. And the fourth one is a flower that we just shot at the venue. So let's rearrange the order a little bit and let's see what we're able to distill out of this. All right, ready? 1, 2. That song works, it's great, it's just not really their personality. So let's take a deep dive into royalty-free music and see if we can find anything. The 2 sites I use are artlist.io and Epidemic Sounds. Let's see what they got. So because we don't have any audible speeches or vows to cut to, I'm actually thinking a song with lyrics might help us tell their story. And there is one song that comes to mind. It just so happens to be an Academy Award-winning song, which I definitely don't have the rights to. But I did do a test, uploaded it to my YouTube channel, and it turns out Sony Music Entertainment, the right holders, don't have any issue with me using the song as long as I don't monetize the episode. Totally fine with me. I don't monetize the channel. We are finally ready to edit. Let's time out some of these shots to the music, build on some of those intimate moments that we captured, and see if we can recreate some of the magic. So we can't recover some of these blown out highlights, but what we can do is add a layer on top and then change the opacity to screen or overlay. It looks a little bit more dreamy, it looks intended, and it hides the overexposed shot. Okay, so this last little tool we can use is called guiding the audience. So I slapped on a film grain to this proposal footage, and it just makes it obvious that it's a callback to a prior time. This technique led me to an idea on how I can save some of that pixelated footage. All right, I think we're done here. You guys ready to see what we made?
To the seekers of things which are one of a kind, the authentic, the rare, the hard to define.
Oh, to see without my eyes, the first time that you kissed me, boundless by the time I cried. I built your walls around me, white noise, what an awful sound. Fumbling by Rogue River, feel my feet above the ground. Hand of God, deliver me. Oh, woe, woe is me. The first time that you touched me, oh, will wonders ever cease? Blessed be the mystery of love. Blessed be the mystery of love.
So I'm gonna play around with this some more. Voiceover work can get a little campy if you overdo it, but it's all kind of subjective from here. And I think we created something magical. Can't wait to show my friends. If you found this episode helpful, blow up that like button, or if you have any specific questions, be sure to check out the description for my footnotes, or just drop me a comment. This is Josh Yeo saying thank you very much, stay creative, now go make some art.